So let's talk about extending the functionality of PowerShell. Now, when PowerShell was released, they used something called PSSnapins, although those have really kind of faded away. We still have the ability to manage them, but there are very, very few of them in use at the moment. You're going to have far more modules that we are working with, and there's some real advantages to that. But let's start with snap-ins. So we've got a command, get-ps snap-in, and this will show us the snap-ins that we currently have installed in our system, which is basically just one, the Microsoft PowerShell core. Now we can look for other commands to deal with PS snap-ins. So get command dash noun ps snap-in, and this will show us our options, get, add, remove. We can look for registered PS snap-ins using the command get-ps snap-in registered, provided I can spell registered. But you'll notice there's really not any of them that are registered that we can use. Now, if we're using some older versions of some software, we might have you install a new software package on your system, like SQL Server or Exchange or something like that. It will have PS modules or snap-ins, and so if you install an older version of like SQL Server, you may have snap-ins that get registered, and this is how you would find them. And then you'd use add PS snap-in to go ahead and add it in. Now, much more likely, you're going to find it's going to be modules. And so modules is the direction that Microsoft has moved, and one of the great things about modules is that modules will auto load. So we have a environment variable $env $ps module path, and if our modules reside anywhere in this path, so your user documents Windows PowerShell modules is where you'd put your own modules if you wanted to create them. Windows PowerShell modules is a default location. Windows System 32 PowerShell modules. I had SQL in here before, so we have that added in as a module path. It's a newer version of SQL. So all of these will add any modules. Let me back up and try this again. Any modules found in these locations can automatically be used. So let me do a get module, and you'll see the modules that are currently loaded. So I have the Microsoft PowerShell Management, Microsoft PowerShell Utility, Package Management, PowerShellGet, PS Readline, and all of these will automatically load, and more will automatically load when I try to run those commands. So for example, let's say that I wanted to look for a command related to DNS. So I'm going to do get command asterisk DNS asterisk, and I'm going to go ahead and pipe that to more just in case. And over here you're going to see the source, and the source is a module that it comes from. So you'll see we have here get DNS client. So now I can execute a command from that DNS client module, so I know it's DNS client because that's the source name. If I do that, it will automatically load the module for me. Or I can look for things specifically in that module. So get command from module DNS client. And it will look for those commands from within my DNS client module. Now, if I do a get module, you'll notice that DNS client is now loaded. It wasn't before. It is now because I've done things with DNS client, and I just haven't had to do that on my own. Modules, as long as they're in that module path, will automatically load. So it really simplifies trying to work with PowerShell. So remember, anything from Microsoft by default is going to load into that path. So remember, or in one of those path locations. So if you want to create your own module, as long as you put it in that module path, it's automatically going to be discovered and automatically going to be loaded. And then update help is going to look in that module path and try to download help related to any of those modules, and you get the idea. So it gives us a very flexible way that we don't really have to worry about. Now there are things we can do with modules. So let's do get-command, look for anything with the noun module. And here you're going to see find module, install module, publish module, save, uninstall, update, get, import. Import module you really only need to use if you are trying to import a module that does not exist in one of the default locations that's defined by the PS module path. So if I have a module somewhere else, I can use import module and specify I want to get that one. Now you're also going to see these bottom 4 commands are from the PowerShell core module. The top ones here are from the PowerShell core snap-in. These top ones are from PowerShellGet. Now PowerShellGet is put in by default in version 5 or later. So remember, you can check your version by doing $PS version table, and that will show you your version. And I happen to be running PowerShell version 5 at the moment. I think the current is version 7. So anything from module 5 or from version 5 on has PowerShellGet, and PowerShellGet is a way of extending the capability of PowerShell with modules from anybody else in the world. In fact, Microsoft they run a repository called the PowerShell Gallery. So I'm going to flip over to that real quick. Here's the PowerShell Gallery website, just PowerShellGallery.com. And here you'll see we have lots and lots of packages. And so you can, I think the number was, 6,000, 8,000? Yeah, 8,000 unique packages. So I can come over to packages and I can search and I can browse and I can try to find one. And let's look for, here's one, PS Windows Update. PS Windows Update, you'll find it right here. You can install it using here's the install module command. Install module name PS Windows Gallery. And so that, because we've got PowerShell Get, is going to try to come out here to the PowerShell Gallery and download it. Let me go back to PowerShell real quick. Now I also have this find module. So I can do find module, is it PS Windows Update? And it will go look through that gallery and try to find this module for me. And there I just found it. PS Windows Update is in the PS Gallery. This module contains commandlets to update or to manage Windows updates. You get the idea. By the way, if I want more information, let me pipe that to format list, and that'll give me the same information. It'll just display it in a list format. It'll give me a little more information about it. And you'll see here commandlets mapping for the old module. I should have done this through more. Here's an update from the catalog, dependencies. So it'll give me a lot more information about it. And I can choose to view all of it or just little bits of it using, there we go. Let's go ahead and clear our screen here. Using find module. And then I just install it using the install module. Now if you do find module with no parameters, what it'll do is it'll go out to the PS Gallery and it will start looking for modules. And because we didn't specify anything, it's going to find all, a little over 8,000 of them. And it'll just keep going and going and going and going and going. Now I'm not going to do that because we have better things to do with our lives. So you can look for modules here, or you can look for modules in the website. Either way works. When you find the module you want, if you want one, if you can find what you want, it'll give you the command to install it, or they're all going to be basically variations of install module -name, and then you give the name, and away we go. The only thing that really is going to change is going to be the module name. There are a couple of other ways to do it via manual download or Azure Automation, but the install module is far and away going to be the easiest one. All right, so those are some tools you can use to expand the capability of PowerShell. Now, just like we did the get command and specify the module, I could do the same thing to get command from module PS Windows Update. Now this actually shouldn't work because I haven't installed that module yet, although we did find a PS Windows Update that we've downloaded data for already. But if you're trying to download, or if you're trying to access one that you haven't looked for already, obviously, or you haven't downloaded part of already, obviously it's not going to work. But that should give you an idea of ways that you can extend PowerShell. Now, let me also clue you in that, remember, PowerShell is going to run on Linux and Mac OS. And different things are going to run there than run under Windows. You might find some modules that will run under Mac OS or Linux that won't run under Windows. You're going to find way more that will run under Windows that won't run under Mac or Linux. But the same tools are available for both. Updates or new modules are going to be published with different tools, different extensions of what you can do through PowerShell. You can basically find them, get them, and explore them the same way. One thing I would really remind you of, get command module and then specify the module. It is a great way to discover what you can do with your newly extended or your newly added PowerShell modules.